Hello, my name is Colin Anderson, and today I'm just doing a quick walkthrough of how I implemented some elevator sound effects into this StackOBot project, this Unreal project. So I'm going to start by showing my DAW where I made the sound. This is Reaper, and I split the elevator sound into 3 different audio files. The first is the start, the second is the loop, and the third is the stop. So once I made those, I made a meta sound in the Unreal project. And here we have the 3 different wave players that are playing those audio files. We have our start sound here, our loop sound here, and our stop sound here. So what happens once this is triggered on play, it tells the start sound to play, and it also tells this envelope to start. What I'm doing is just a fade in of this loop, and so that makes a nice transition from the start to the loop. And then once this parameter, this trigger, is called elevator off, then it tells it to play this stop sound, and it also tells the loop here to fade out. And so all of that sounds like this. So that makes a nice cohesive and smooth sound. And so once I got that set up, I needed to hook it up to the elevator blueprint. And so this is what was already provided in the project, but it didn't have any audio with it. So what I have outside of these boxes is what I added. And so right here, this function is telling the elevator to start if the player walks onto the platform, onto a collision box. And so it's either going to be moving to the end location or to the start location. So if it is already in the start location, then we want it to move to the end location, and we set this Boolean variable called going up to true. And that's just to help me differentiate between this elevator up sound effect that I did and a down sound effect I did, because I use slightly different audio files for those. But the meta sound for the elevator down is almost identical. So after we set that going up variable, then we go to also check to see that the elevator is not already in motion, because if the elevator is moving already, we don't want it to re-trigger this audio event, this sound effect elevator up meta sound, if the player enters that collision box again. And so once we check that that is false, then it plays our audio and it sets the Boolean is moving to true. And so then we need to figure out when the elevator stops. So that's what this function does, and I've added this little bit at the end here. So it checks to see if it's at the end location, and if it is, then we set the elevator, we set this bool to not moving, and we also just want it to trigger this parameter in our meta sound files called elevator off, and so that just tells our elevator stop sound to play. So that's basically it for this elevator. So let me just show you what that looks like in motion. So it stops once we get to the top, and it's not going to re-trigger again until we enter the collision box. And now it's not going to keep triggering as we enter that collision box. So we have a functioning elevator. So that's it. Thanks for watching this short little walkthrough, and I hope you enjoyed.